In the headlines, excitement in Kuriga community as students reunite with parents 22 days after abduction. Wanted Delta monarch flown to Abuja for interrogation. Nigerians mark Good Friday amid biting economy. And on the foreign scene, Madagascar cyclone Gamani kills at least 18, displaces thousands. Hello and welcome to Trust News Update. I am Shegun Ojumu. We begin in Jigawa State, where the State Police Command has apprehended suspected criminals, including armed robbers, cable vandals, and motorcycle snatching syndicate members. Police Commissioner Ahmed Abdullahi disclosed this while parading the suspects at the command's headquarters in Dutse. Abdullahi recounted an incident where a resident was attacked and robbed of his phone, leading to the arrest of 2 suspects. In another operation based on credible intelligence, detectives and vigilante members raided a Fulani camp in Kiawa local government area, resulting in the arrest of 2 suspects and the recovery of firearms, ammunition, motorcycles, and other items. The recovered items were linked to a robbery incident that resulted in the deaths of 3 individuals in Borno Kudu town. The suspects confessed, and efforts are underway to apprehend other syndicate members.
At about 03:30 hours, unknown hoodlums broke into 7 machine shop located at Bakinkara, Mega 3, local government, and made away with valuable items. After receipt of the report, detectives attached to Mega 3 division swung into action and arrested one Haruna Magaji, 52 years old, of Kurna Makaranta quarters, Kumbozo local government, Kano State, in possession of the following items: 32 bundles of shelter yards, 22 bundles of different types of material yards, 16 complete dress, 3 caps, 3 trousers, 1 generator, 1 iron rod, 16 different types of master keys, all estimated valued at 1,219,600 naira only. On interrogation, the suspect confessed to the commission of the crime and further confessed to be an ex-convict. The suspect will be charged to court for prosecution.
I am from Bauchi. I am 20 years old and I am married. The guns and ammunitions that were found are not mine. I don't know who owns them. They were found at my neighbor's house. I didn't even know that they had such weapons until the authorities showed up. I was at home sleeping and suddenly authorities showed up at my house and arrested me. They didn't find any weapon in my house. I have never owned a gun or seen one. I don't have any relation with them. We are just neighbors. I am 27 years old from Hadija. We were caught stealing electrical cables.
The OVA of Ewu Urobo, His Royal Majesty Clement Ikolo Ohupe I, allegedly involved in the killing of 17 military officers in Okwama community, has been transferred to the defense headquarters in Abuja for further interrogation. Following his surrender to the Delta State Police Command in Asaba, he was flown to Abuja on Friday morning. The suspect was accompanied by military officers, police personnel, and personal aides departing from Asaba Airport around 9:10 a.m. The Nigerian Navy ship NNS Delta has transferred 15 suspects, including 1 Ghanaian, along with a vessel to the Federal Ministry of Agriculture. The suspects were apprehended for fishing in the maritime exclusive zone deemed illegal by the Navy. Jonathan Awanyai reports.
The suspects were paraded at the NNS Delta jetty in Warri alongside the shipping vessel christened Lily 4. They were said to have been intercepted along the Forcados terminal in Burutu local government. The commander of the NNS Delta, Commander Abamushi, represented by the executive officer, Navy Captain Solomon Paul, said the vessel and crew were involved in an illegal act by fishing in a zone they were prohibited from entering.
We are sending a strong warning to all mariners who have the habit of violating maritime laws within Nigerian waters, that they will be sanctioned appropriately if caught. This is just one series of actions the Nigerian Navy is taking towards keeping the Nigerian waters safe, for safe navigation of ships and for commercial activities to thrive. And as part of the Navy's Coast Guard functions towards nation building, we remain resolute in freeing our area of operation.
Receiving documents containing the handover notes of the vessel and suspects, the Assistant Director in the Department of Fishery, Ministry of Agriculture, Iwanegbe, America, warned fishermen to stay clear of the exclusive zone. He commended the Nigerian Navy for the arrest.
I'm receiving the vessel from the Navy. Navy, they have done their good job. So the office will take further step after this.
The suspect will soon appear in court. Jonathan Awanya, Trust TV News, Asaba.
In other stories now, President Bola Tinubu extends Easter greetings to Christians in Nigeria and worldwide, acknowledging the significance of the season, commemorating the resurrection of Jesus Christ and his victory over sin and death. The president urges Christians to embrace love, sacrifice, and compassion, drawing inspiration from Christ's example. Tinubu emphasizes the importance of selflessness and unity for national development, citing Jesus' sacrifice as a lesson for leaders and Nigerians alike. Despite facing economic challenges and implementing reforms such as ending fuel subsidies and currency controls, Tinubu remains committed to the nation's prosperity and urges patience from citizens. President Tinubu acknowledges the resilience and sacrifices of Nigerians, emphasizing, their importance for economic recovery. Now we stay with that theme because Good Friday, observed as a public holiday in Nigeria, is a solemn occasion for Christians. It is a time for penance, prayer, and fasting, during which believers abstain from certain foods and pleasures, seeking forgiveness for their sins. In Makurdi, a cross-section of Christians, while speaking to Trust TV, called for peace and mutual coexistence among all Nigerians. Jimmy Adzande reports.
Good Friday marks the culmination of the Passion Week, commemorating the day Jesus died and was buried in Jerusalem over 2,000 years ago. For Christians, it is a time of solemn reflection and a pursuit of God's peace.
And then begin to check about the cultural dominance of this place is thief people. And then they love yam so much and they love meat so much. So within this time, anything that you love so much, anything that is so much attached to you, it's more like trying to make a sacrifice of it. You're not eating it.
They also say on Good Fridays, certain delicacies are abstained from, as it is tradition with the Christian community in Benue State. These include meat and yam, which are popular on the Benue menu.
As a teacher of the faith, I should live by example. So I am expected to abstain from food at least from 6 to 12 p.m. before I eat. And today, throughout today, I will not eat meat.
To pay respect to the crucified Jesus who died on Good Friday. Good in the sense that he died for our salvation, and we know that we reverence history and abstain some of these things that we take to dear to our hearts. And so we give a respect to the crucified Jesus on this day of abstinence and Good Friday.
First, forgiveness. And then the joy of forgiveness is not the person you are forgiving, but you. Because the burden you carry when somebody offends you, when you see this person, you are triggered with anger, but when you forgive, when you see that person, it is joy that comes to your mind.
Most churches today observe the Passion Play, representing the traverse of Christ leading up to his death, burial, and eventual resurrection. Jimmy Azandi, Trust TV News, Makurdi.
Meanwhile, the federal government has allocated 90 billion naira to subsidize the 2024 pilgrimage to the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia, according to sources within the National Hajj Commission of Nigeria, or NACON. Without this subsidy, each pilgrim would have been required to contribute an additional 3.5 million naira to the initial fare of 4.9 million naira. A top official at the presidency confirmed the government's financial support for the Hajj exercise. The Nakon attributed the fare hike to Nigeria's foreign exchange crisis and had sought support from state governors. Kano State has already committed to subsidizing the fare by 500,000 naira per pilgrim. While the exact amount released by the federal government was not confirmed, sources indicated that the 90 billion naira allocation was plausible. Now, the parents of the released Kuriga school children have vowed to ensure that their children continue their education despite the traumatic incident of their abduction by bandits in the community. They expressed this determination while celebrating the safe return of their children to the community after being released by the bandits. Trust TV's Bello Musa has more.
The atmosphere was filled with jubilation as the rescued school children arrived at the community. It marked a historic reunion in the history of Kuriga, with parents expressing immense joy as they were finally reunited with their children after 3 weeks of abduction. I have one child among the rescued children, and I can't express my joy today. I am thankful to God.
The good news, and we thank God because we took it in good faith when it happened. And we are now in a joyous mood to see my 13-year-old son, Hassan Sanusi, back home.
I feel like I am in Hajj or in paradise now. We are grateful to God and we appreciate the government. My children will continue attending school as long as the school exists because we believe what happened was destined by God. For one of the students, Saifullahi Bashir says, reuniting with his parent after being in captivity feels like a miracle. I don't know how to express myself because I am so excited. It was a mixed feeling for the family of fled teacher Abubakar Isa, as his son is among the rescued students.
Though we're still mourning, we're happy at the same time because his eldest son is among the rescued children. I give kudos to the government for ensuring the release of our children.
Nafisa Isa says despite the killing of their older brother who was kidnapped along the student, they will not relent in sending their children to school.
By the grace of God, our children must continue with their education. We won't relent, and our brother Abubakar Isa, may his soul rest in peace. We have faith that he met his destiny. We are 4 in the family and he is the eldest.
Allah Ubangiji ya gafarta mishi, Allah ya sa ya huta, Allah ya raya abin da ya bari, Allah Ubangiji ya ɗaukaka su.
The Kuriga kidnapping has really scared this community, but the return of the school children has rekindled hope in the community that has now gained international recognition and attention. Bello Musa reporting for Trust TV News.
This is News Update on Trust TV, coming up after the break. Aiming to address food shortages and rising poverty, Jigawa government commits more resources to agriculture. More news when we return. Do stay with us. Welcome back. If you're just joining us, this is the News Update on Trust TV. Now let's take a look at our top stories again. Excitement in Kuriga community as students reunite with parents 22 days after abduction. And wanted Delta monarch flown to Abuja for interrogation. A group known as the Accra Initiative has commended Governor Babagana Zulum's effort geared towards ensuring peace in the state through his Borno model, which facilitated the surrender of more than 160,000 terrorists. The Ghana delegation made a commendation during a courtesy visit to the Deputy Governor of Borno State to study the success recorded with the Borno model and to adopt it to prevent a spillover of terrorism from the Sahel and to address transnational organized crime and violent extremism in member countries' border areas. The Deputy Governor of the state, Usman Kadafur, told the group that the model, which comprises demobilization, de-radicalization, rehabilitation, reconciliation, and reintegration, has brought relative peace across the state and facilitated the return of displaced persons to their ancestral homes. He added that the state government will continue to consolidate on its success to bring lasting peace in Borno State.
Overall, I've started recognizing the approaches that the Borno State government and the federal government have been doing towards the DDR program. And the most important thing is, as I said earlier on the courtesy call, these are things that it has to be, approached in a different way, like the non-kinetic way. And I believe the Borno model, is going out of, necessity, because we felt even the military are doing their best, but also we have to look at other approaches that we can, lure these people out of, the bushes so that we can have peace. And I'm happy the federal government believes in the leadership of this administration under Professor Babagana Umar Zulum. They've given us the lead. They've keyed in all departments, federal agencies that are supposed to be part of the DDR program are with us in this Borno State model. So I believe this Ghana initiative, they've embarked on a study tour to see what we've been doing. And they will have time to, visit some of the facilities that we use in all our DDR program.
But we see that what you are doing here, the non-kinetic approach, is very, very valuable. It is complementary to the efforts. So we have come here. We have not yet embarked seriously on the kinetic approach. We are on preventive aspects, and other areas are already on the non-kinetic approach, particularly our partners in the Sahel, Burkina Faso, Mali, Niger. The coastal states, Ghana, Cote d'Ivoire, Togo, and Benin are all in the preventive stage. So we want to use what you are learning now, what you are doing right now, to reinforce our efforts.
Governor Umar Namadi of Jigawa State has reaffirmed his administration's commitment to eradicating poverty and hunger among rural residents. The latest phase of the government's empowerment program, which commenced in September 2022, targets 10,000 farmers, predominantly women, with a range of support packages aimed at enhancing agricultural productivity and household incomes. The report.
Governor Namadi's declaration underscores the prioritization of poverty alleviation initiatives in Jigawa State, with a focus on empowering farmers, particularly women. The initiative aims to provide essential resources to enhance agricultural productivity and ensure sustainable livelihoods. The empowerment packages in this phase include vital resources such as improved seeds, assorted fertilizers, agrochemicals, water pumps, as well as livestock including goats, sheep, and chickens, along with their feedings. By equipping farmers with these resources, the government aims to boost production capacity and enhance household incomes, thereby contributing to poverty reduction and food security in the state.
This initiative aligns with our overarching vision for reducing poverty, enhancing food security, and alleviating poverty among our citizens, irrespective of their political affiliations.
The holistic approach adopted by Governor Namadi's administration reflects a proactive stance towards addressing the root causes of poverty and hunger in rural communities. By investing in both agricultural inputs and infrastructure, the government aims to create an enabling environment for economic empowerment and improved living standards for residents across the state.
So under this phase, we are targeting 4,220 across 10 enterprises, which includes assets and agricultural inputs. Beneficiaries were selected from the communities, forests of the four communities across the states, based on poverty and vulnerability ranking that was carried out by the State Ministry of Budget and Economic Planning in collaboration with the World Bank.
Governor Umar Namadi's government's renewed focus on combating rural poverty through targeted empowerment initiatives and infrastructure development demonstrates a steadfast commitment to uplifting the socio-economic well-being of Jigawa State's residents.
And now in business, the Nigerian economy recorded an inflow of over $1.5 billion in the past few days. According to the Central Bank of Nigeria, it's an indication that its policy, monetary policy that is, efforts are working. The EPIC Bank's Acting Director, Corporate Communications Department, Hakama Ali, made the assertion in Abuja. She noted that the CBN indicated that the inflows resulted from a concerted effort to stabilize the foreign exchange market. According to her, the Naira has also continued to record the gains in the autonomous foreign exchange market as well as the parallel market. She assured that the Yemi Cardoso-led CBN remain committed to ensuring the stability of the FX market. Next, the Central Bank of Nigeria is set to closely monitor the Nigerian banking sector's recapitalization alongside law enforcement agencies. The move is aimed at preventing the influx of illicit financing into the sector. The Director of the Financial Policy and Regulation Department at the CBN, Haruna Mustafa, disclosed this on Friday in a circular address to commercial, merchant and non-interest banks, including promoters of proposed banks, on the new minimum capital requirements for banks. CBN had on Thursday unveiled the new minimum capital base for commercial banks in the country. Now, away from Nigeria, tropical cyclone Gamane struck Madagascar earlier this week, claiming the lives of at least 18 people and displacing thousands more, according to the country's disaster management office. The cyclone, which hit the northeast region, caused significant destruction, displacing over 20,000 individuals and leaving 3 injured and 4 missing, with average winds of 150 kilometers per hour and gusts reaching 210 kilometers per hour. Gamane made landfall north of Bohemar on Wednesday morning. It gradually weakened on Thursday, but continued to unleash heavy rain, triggering floods and infrastructure damage across several localities. Reports indicate collapsed roads and bridges in northern Madagascar, underscoring the cyclone's impact on the region. Next, we take you to South Africa, where former South African President Jacob Zuma narrowly escaped injury in a car accident caused by a drunk driver, as confirmed by police on Friday. The incident occurred shortly after electoral officials disqualified Mr. Zuma from running in the upcoming general election, heightening tensions in the pre-election period. The driver's vehicle collided with Zuma's official armored state vehicle, resulting in his arrest for drunken and reckless driving. Zuma and his security detail emerged unharmed, and he was safely transported to his residence. Despite facing corruption allegations and being forced out of office in 2018, Mr. Zuma still holds significant political influence within the ruling African National Congress, the ANC. And finally, in sports, Algerian side USM Alger has landed in Nigeria ahead of the CAF Confederation Cup quarterfinal second leg encounter against Rivers United. The North Africans touched down at the Victor Atta International Airport, Uyo, on Friday morning. USM Alger arrived aboard a chartered Air Algeria flight. And Sunday's encounter, of course, will take place at the Gatswell Akpabio Stadium. The encounter is billed to kick off at 2 p.m. The return leg is scheduled for Sunday, April 7th, 2024. The game will be played at the Stade du Joliet Stadium, Algeria. That should be it. And that's it on Trust TV Update. I am Shegun Ojumu. Many thanks for watching. Now you can follow us on all our social media platforms and join our YouTube live stream for more news programs and documentaries. Thanks.